Hi, it's Philip here from Good Dog Training. Those who follow the Good Dog Training Facebook page may have seen me post about a get together down at the training centre for people who were grieving over the loss of a pet and to have some kind of discussion among ourselves about that. Now, the turnout was, to say the least, disappointing, but I did get an awful lot of calls and comments from people who thought it was a fascinating subject, and I suspect that some would like to hear more of it, but weren't really quite prepared to show up at what they may have suspected to have been some kind of group therapy. Let me just say from the outset, this is going to be the first video of a number of videos that I'm going to record on the whole subject of grief and the loss of a pet. But I also need to say that I'm no trained counsellor, and this is completely and utterly based on my personal experiences and my accumulated knowledge of talking to people who have lost pets and have grieved quite dearly over the loss of that pet. So these posts will be published on on our Facebook page, and it will also appear on our YouTube channel. So you can find us. I'd like everybody who feels that they'd like to comment on the post, and or indeed even to lift a phone and to talk to us about their feelings. So the first thing I'm going to cover today is the whole question of support and lack of support very often around the death of your beloved pet. Now, I'm a dog lover first and foremost, and most people would know me as that. But what I'm talking about here doesn't just relate to the loss of a dog. It's for cats, for your budgie, your fish, your stick insect. It doesn't really matter, your horse. Where you get deeply, deeply emotionally involved with a pet when that pet passes on, or is killed, or lost, or but just lost to you, then the reality of grief exists. So, just to put it in context for myself, over the last 9 months we lost two of our beloved dogs, one through cancer and one, well, she went missing. We suspect that she's dead, and people have been kind enough to help in our search for her. But the conclusion that we have reached is that she has been killed. These two dogs, to myself and my wife, were members of our family. They were absolutely loved and cherished, and we had huge, huge fun with them. We included them in all our activities. We took them on holidays with us, and as I say, we just had great time with them. So the loss of these dogs, we still think of them, and I know I'm speaking for my wife here, but not a day goes by that we don't look at our computer screensavers or we don't see a dog that looks like them, and we wonder about the dogs and our experiences with them and the love that we had for them. And this is grief. I've had grief in my life in relation to other things, the loss of my parents and some things like that. And it has been quite traumatic. And with the loss of a human in our lives, we often get all the support that we need from family and friends, because it's a loss that a lot of people have suffered and people understand it. Now, to friends and families who are not as engaged with animals as perhaps I am, and the people that I'm talking to here are, the support can be really lacking, and sometimes it can be insensitive because they don't understand what we felt for the animal that has been lost to us. So we must recognize that people around us, friends, families, neighbours, work colleagues that are deeply embroiled with their animals, that if that animal passes on or is killed or lost, that we support those people, that we don't rely on their family and their own circle of friends to do so, that we reach out to them and explain that we understand, as dog lovers, as cat lovers, as goldfish lovers, whatever, the loss that they're suffering and the grief that they must be feeling. So, of course, there are all degrees of grief, and some people won't feel it as deeply as others. But there is a loss, and sometimes people don't just own up to it and express the way that they are feeling. And I can extend, as the owner of Good Dog Training and Daycare Centre down here in Wexford, I can put it out there that if you are suffering alone and feel unsupported in your loss and would just want to come and chat about it, drop into us in the daycare. Sit a puppy on your knee and talk to whoever's there, Amy, myself, Rachel, and just talk to some of the other dog owners that come in to drop off or collect their dogs. It's an open invitation. You need nothing. No written request to come or anything like that. It's just if you wake up one morning feeling really sad and would just like to engage with people that know how it feels, then come down and talk to us, okay? But let's just reach out to the people that we know that are in these circumstances. It is as real a grief as any other loss is to these people. As I say, when we lost our two dogs, it was unbearable, the thought that we weren't going to see them. And to still, this day, some months afterwards, when I come across little videos when I'm looking for something of Ben, who died of cancer, running around happily in Courtdown Woods, and I think of the crack that I had with that dog. We took him from a rescue pound because kids were laughing at him because he had really, really protruding teeth. And he was the best little rescue we've ever had. And Lola, the magnificent rescue as well. A mastiff crossed with a boxer, a big lump of a dog with a lot of issues, but here in the house, an absolute dote. I have a photograph in my records of her where she climbs up onto my wife's lap. This dog was probably about 55 kilos in weight and considered herself a lap dog and eligible to climb up onto somebody's lap and just drape all over the person. She was such a gentle soul, and to this day I still miss her. And Ben. So that's about all I have for this first video, just to put it out there to say that these feelings are real and we need to own them and we need to talk about them and we need to support each other at these times. When Lola went missing, I could not believe the support that I received from people. It was absolutely and utterly wonderful, and it really, really made such a difference. When Ben passed on and I came back to work, the support from people who found it difficult to talk but reached out and expressed their sympathies and sorrows around the loss of Ben. But I'm lucky. I work in an environment surrounded by people who love their pets as much as I love mine. So for the ones that don't have that resource of surrounded by pet lovers, let's reach out to the ones that we know and just have a chat with them and see how they're doing, because they're out there and we need to support them as pet lovers too. Okay, so that's the end of video 1. I will be posting again on a few more subjects in relation to the loss of a pet. When's a good time to get another pet? What should we do with regard to children and the loss of a pet? What about the loss of community? Some of these subjects I want to address with you. So look out again for the video appearing on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoy it, and please comment or like or whatever. If you think it's nuts or rubbish, say so. I won't mock you in future posts, I promise. Okay, talk again. Bye bye.